All right, testing. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds perfect. Is there any way we can make the lights a little bit lighter, Earl? Or
That I'm not sure of.
how's that help? I could just turn the spotlights to y'all more so and make it like actually light. Thanks, brother. All right, welcome to the Calvin Podcast with, my brother man's from another mother man. I promise you, like, my mama only had 2 kids, but I feel like I got like 20 brother men that are just always on my side, making sure like Mr. Nelson stay on the right ride. So what's up, everybody? I got my brother Lee today from the Let's Talk About It podcast. We always talk about great things, and I got the brother man Quan Nellums, not Nellum, but Nellums with an S coming through. What's up, Quan?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
You know me, you always blessing me, so I had to, bring you, on my first ever, mixtape review of the Flow Tape walk-in with my 2 brother mans. And this is just a great opportunity for hip-hop. It's a great opportunity for me. It's a great opportunity for just, black men to come together to just kind of have refuge, And so really I kind of go around like, what does hip hop mean for you all, and why is it important to have refuge as a black man? I think I saw like a statistic. It was like studies show that every man that goes out like every twice a week, is like really healthy. So just like having that solace, having that man time, or just having like a long time. Hip hop was like rapping. It was a refuge for me when I first became a teacher in Detroit. First year teaching in Brightmoor, not really knowing what I was doing. Coming home like crazy, falling asleep at 7, waking up at 7, and literally just going to my car and just finding some type of words, finding some type of beat to just kind of like find, refuge. So just like, I guess like Quan, starting, I guess like, what's hip hop mean for you, and just why is it important for that expression?
Oh man, hip hop, it brings me back to a time of just being in the, just with my friends, man. Some of the best times that I had was making music with my partners. And so, back in the 90s, when I came of age, we would be down in the basement with do a tape deck, cassette player, beat on one side and be a rap, and just, that was everything for us, just, writing and then, rapping, man. Detroit in the 90s was phenomenal, man. Just culture scene, hip hop shop, St. Andrews Hall, Cafe Mahogany, man. So you had places. You would see ciphers like all over the place. Like now we have like I guess like social media takes the place of the cipher, but the fact that whether you were outside of school, I spent a lot of time at the North Activity Center, like whatever you wrote or whatever if you had the capability to freestyle, you was able to put that on display for people to hear, man, anywhere you went. And so whether it was the ciphers at the lunch table, the ciphers at the entrance to the North Activity Center, or whether if you was ready for, we got a chance to, the hip hop shop was brutal. So if you know D12 Eminem, that was their spot. Like, so Proof was the most phenomenal freestyle I've ever seen, and if you wasn't sweet, they they would let you know that crowd would be there, and they would let you know if you wasn't sweet. So it was like, having that courage to really get up and grab a mic during one of those open mics during that time. So that's what it brings back, all those memories, and what it did for me. Like I said, I didn't know I had a voice until I heard it on wax, and so being able to just create with my partners and just hear that creation, and having other people hear it and like, oh yeah, that sounds dope, so that just that whole ecosystem of growth and camaraderie, that's what it means to me, man. Because when I think I was like 13, when I really started listening to hip hop. Like, you know, I didn't necessarily like it like that, but you know, when I got with my friends, they introduced me to, like, you know, the underground hip hop, you know, things. I was straight, you know, whatever was playing on the radio. And so when they was able to introduce me to, like, just, you know, just a lot of hip hop, and I think I came across Wu-Tang myself, so that just changed the game for me. I was like, wow, this is phenomenal, you know. So it brings me, it just hip hop is a coming of age thing for me. It always brings me back to those times in the '90s, man. So since then, you know, just being able to create, like, you know, with you know, I had the fortunate opportunity to drop albums. As you know, when I started teaching, I started teaching in '03, so I was 22, and so dropped my first album my group did during that time. And so oftentimes I would be at school. Then when I would leave, I'd be going to the studio, or I'd be doing the show. And so that and then, you know, just carrying that with Lyricist Society and
man.
I Am In Demand. That's all fun time, man. Being able, you had a chance to be a part of that. We just create, had something, you know what I'm saying? It's a great experience, man. So I like the experiences that hip hop brings. So that's, you know, especially when you create it among your friends. So
yeah, absolutely. And then we're the same age, right? We're the same generation, I guess. Did any of that translate? Anything he just said?
I mean, obviously, I was born at the tail end of the 90s, 90, 99.
Wow.
But, like, I mean, I listen to, you know, some old school music just in general. But I think, for me, what hip-hop is like, it's a message. It's a part of the culture. You see it through people's clothing. You know, you go to different cities. With us, mainly Detroit, it's not just a sound, it's a way of life. Like, the way the city is built, the way people dress from our city, the way people carry themselves, the slang. But I would just say hip-hop overall is kind of like, you know, like I always say with my cousin, because he raps. And I tell him, like, when he was first asking me about it, because he had a podcast at first. So he went into rapping. He was like, you know, cuz, what you think about this? And I'm like, man, you could continue to do your podcast, but there may be some people that hear you behind the mic or in a studio rapping some lyrics that may be able to resonate with that more than your podcast. So I think everybody has a message. Like I always say, Youngboy has a message, Cole has a message. Crazy enough, Sexy Red got a message, but it's about, you know, what message can you resonate with, or what message do you need to listen to? You know, I look at people now, you know, a person that's really, they call it like the sad music. Everybody's clinging to the music that Rod Wave makes, or a Youngboy, or a, you know, like I said, Sexy Red, because that's what this generation likes. And I think it's all about perspective, to be honest. Like, you may hear somebody and be like, nah, I wouldn't listen to him. That's not really what I'm into. And then you may hear the album like Kendrick dropped just a few days ago, you know, and be like, oh, no, this is what I see in my world. This is what happens on my day-to-day. So I think it's perspective, it's culture, and ultimately it's sending a message. So, I mean, hip-hop is everything, man. Like, and when you like, I can tell, like, you, man, like, you a savant with this thing. Like, just describing all your memories, going down to the different activity centers, hearing Eminem, D12, and all of these guys, how you talked about Wu-Tang, and you said, like, it was the experience of it all that made it, you know, worth being around, and, you know, just being in the moment, seeing these guys freestyle, just like, oh, man, let me try this different cadence, or let me do it this way. So it's all of those things combined into one. That's why hip hop is so important, man.
Absolutely, and that's a great segue to the first song of Flow Tape Walk In. So just to kind of give you all understanding, just so you can see the back cover. So the way the album, it's a mixtape, and it's like a waterfall. So it starts off really fast, right? So it's like really, you know, high potential, high kinetic energy, and then it slows and it comes off really slow, right? And so this song is called Another One, inspired by two outcasts who I, you know, favor, Lil Yachty and Drake. And Lil Yachty also is like a really big influence of mine because, you know, I felt like when he came in the game, he was automatically outcast. Like, even like he went to Alabama A&M and he talked about being an outcast at an HBCU. You know what I'm saying? And me growing up, you know, in New Orleans, you know, my mother put me in inner city, but I grew up in the suburbs. So I automatically knew I was an outcast from, you know, how people treated me. And so, you know, I really gravitate towards just people who are outcasts, who are other outcasts, who come together and make music. And so this is just the, you know, the intro. So it's just like, you know, what's your favorite intro song real quick, everybody? Like, what's your favorite intro? Like, how it sound? First intro, favorite intro.
My favorite intro for hip hop. I'm trying to think. I like anything that any intro song that Meek Mill does. Cause
Right, yeah,
like it's like
energy.
It's like, yeah, like you said, like the energy, and then like, you know, one of his albums that I really enjoyed, I think it was called Championships. I like that whole album from beginning to end, just because it's like it's telling a story. Like you can play that on your way to work, you can play it in the gym, and then like a lot of stuff he's saying, like some people went through the trenches, and some people, you know, have gone through losses and they've gained. So I would say anything. The intro off the Championship album, I like it. Because if I'm not mistaken,
Phil Collins.
I think, I was about to say, and then I'm a big fan of Snowfall too, so I like when they put the Phil Collins, you know, song in there when Franklin came back or whatever, so.
Quan.
The Stillmatic intro, Blood of a Slave, Heart of a King.
Yeah.
I said it right. Blood of a Slave, Heart of a King, turn my voice up. Yeah. Yeah, Stillmatic intro.
Cool. Yeah, so another one, you know, intro, just trying to make a statement, so let's check it out.
And so I love the fact that you're always highlighting, especially in this, well, really all of the songs, honestly. Like, man, I'm an educator. This is how I'm doing things, and acknowledge, you know, what I'm doing. And I'm doing what I can, not just for me, but more importantly for the kids, so they get it and they realize how important education is. So, man, I think that's really dope. And
thank you
for you to be vulnerable enough to be able to say, hey, man, I'm gonna find more than one way to do it, because you hear people say like it's more than one way to skin a cat. So not only are you talking about it with your podcast, you taking a leap of faith and say, man, I'm gonna go in the booth and talk about these things that I'm feeling. I'm gonna write them down and I'm gonna display it to you. Because some of your students may hear the podcast and say, oh, I can hear that, but then you got other kids in your class that resonate more with lyrics, with beats and stuff like that. So now they like, oh, Mr. Nellum is doing it this way. I understand why education is important now. So that's dope, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. And what beat is that? You know,
yeah, that's another one beat, another late night from Drake's Before All Your Dogs album, produced by Lil Yachty.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's like real, like really, it's like a different type beat that Drake's not used to. So it's really like fast. And so like you hear like I'm using like the A, like I'm, you know, because I'm trying to get you to like wake up, you know, and like I'm saying things. I'm also saying lyrics and stuff like that, but it's like really like quick, really fast. And it's actually one of Drake's fastest songs on the album. It actually was one of the songs he made a music video for. So it's a really like pop.
And that's something that the kids would be familiar with.
Yep.
Yeah. So now I think and just off of what he said, man, that you know it's a great thing to be able to you know you able, to me it's like you chronicling just who you are as an educator, but also all the other things that you do. And I know that you share it with the students and the staff, because I was somewhere, man. I don't know where I was. They was like, yeah, Miss Nunn. They was like, this mixtape, like they was, they knew about it, and so I thought that was cool. So I know that you sharing it with them, and I know that it's the thought that's going into it is because you know the ears who gonna hear it. And,
yeah.
And I just and I think just from somebody who when I was students, I would always rap with the students and do all kind of things, and it's an important thing for them to see. I remember when we did the the Perseverance video.
Yeah.
And you brought some students with you. And it was like, oh, it was good for them to see that whole thing. Like, oh, this is snapping, yeah. And then to see all the other, MCs and support there as well. So, I'm looking. It makes me, when I hear it, makes me want to, I'm all about stories, and so knowing your backstory, hearing this, it just opens up the album, to make me want to hear more about what is this teacher about to bring to the to this what message he's about to bring to the rest of the song. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's funny that you say that, because literally I had robotics practice when we had a music video, and I had brought my kids. I bring home in my car from robotics practice, like, we're gonna put this music video, and I had to switch up, and it was an authentic switch in one of the verses. It's like, my kids going to 12 years of school just to graduate to play Fortnite. I gotta switch the flow up. That shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, something ain't right. Something ain't clicking, right? You know what I'm saying? For you to get all this education, you know what I'm saying? And just to become, you know what I'm saying, a gamer, right? Education is way more. And so that's another reason why I'm rapping, because I want you to know, like, I'm better than a streamer, I'm better than a basketball player, and I'm a teacher, And so let's get into the second song. This is actually my kid's favorite song because of literally the very first song. This is Flo Milli. So I took her, pretty much took the entire song and just switched the flow up. And that's hip hop too. Like, saying people like, don't like that, but like, I think that's like paying homage to in a respectful way, but also like, in like a competitive way. And so, yeah. So you'll see why they like it. So, yeah.
Hey, you never had a taste like me in life. You never had a taste like me in life. Hey, dog, I said you never had to teach like me in life. You never had to teach like me. She teaching the way by harder for duty. More than mine's a true beauty. Black and educated, call it Ruby. Empower minds and wearing that Gucci. Shaping the fuse like a star in a movie. Voted craft ain't never been groupie. I stand the sex ain't never been bougie. Tell me you ain't never.
And like, I could tell you a quick story. So literally, like, Miss Nutley, cause the kids heard the song, but like, it's like I'm switching up. So I'm like Clark Clint. And then on boot, I'm Superman. But at school, like, I'm not even like, Mr. No, man, I'm gonna see something. I'm just like, it's like bouncing off and be like, what are you talking about? What song? You know what I'm saying? And then they'll play the song, and if you know like the actual Flo Milli lyrics from the song, what are the lyrics? Yeah. What is she saying?
She's saying some wild.
You never had this like me, like, and that goes hard. But like, is that what we want our young lady? You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I mean by switching the flow up. Yeah. And so I remember literally being in the studio, dude had the auto-tune on, and he had it. I said, turn it up just a little bit, because I'm gonna try to sing, because I just want this to like, just knock a little bit. And like, literally, that's the part they always remember. Every time I play that song for everybody, it's like, never teach like me in life, you never teach like. And so I was like, yeah, man, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this, like, just to switch it up a little bit, yeah. So,
yeah, no, I think. As teachers, we have great influence on students because they see us, all the time. And I know when I first started teaching, I was like, man, my biggest fear is like, I don't want a student to ever come back to me, and say, it's not, I learned absolutely nothing from you. Nah, for real. Yeah, a horrible teacher. You had a horrible influence in my life, And I never wanted that.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, that'd be heartbreaking, And I haven't had that, but I will say, like, just like with Cal, man, like, when they hear those, like, it's like you can go back and, like, I can remember vividly when I first heard Paparazzi by Exhibit, right? That beat was just bananas, dog. And that boy came on, like, I was using a hip hop shop, they played it. And I was like, dog, this is, what I'm saying? And then I remember knocking. I remember knocking, and, and everybody used to do the stank face, put their head behind, put their heads behind their head, and I remember making the connection because I heard the sample we got it from, and I wasn't looking at the sample. I was just in Detroit.
It was researching.
Nah. They used to have I think they still do have it, but the classical music station, and it was playing. I think that comes from the Wimbledon choir or something. And that the sample, the part where you sample came, I was like, yo, that's where it came from. So, but anyway, I say all I had to say is that you can remember, like, it brings back, and like the students go remember that, like, you never had it. First of all, they'll remember the person, They'll definitely remember the song. Like I used to have
Yep.
a song I used to do, affirmation song I used to do with my students.
What was it?
Potential and possibilities. So it was like a call and response. I said, I got potential and possibilities. I can do great things, really. And I said, y'all say it back. And they said,
Yeah.
I got potential and possibilities. I can do great things, really. And we go back and
Love
forth.
it.
And then I think you can be what you want to be. Just don't be a wannabe. Now let your light so shine so the world can see. And your light will shine most definitely. Now you don't have to be a thug because you're from the street.
Hey.
Your body is a temple. You don't have to be a freak. This goes far deep in what we all can see. Your life has many more possibilities. Listen, now God knows what you call and be, but it's up to you to make the call and be. You can live life more abundantly. Inspire the hood like Aquila and the bee. Up your mighty race like Marcus Garvey. Just think greatness at arm's reach. Just think greatness from our streets. And just be more than what you see in this on. I got potential and possibilities. I can do great things, really, and that's it. I got potential.
Yeah.
He said, see all the kids saying it out loud, and that song over 20 years.